A highpoint mother accused of starving to death her 13-year-old daughter went before a judge for the first time today. Police say the girl's twin brother survived the conditions.
New information was revealed in court about the mother. Prosecutors say Kimberly Bowden's job was to care for patients. WFMY News.
Okay, so another tragic story out of High Point, North Carolina. So a 13-year-old starved to death by her mother. She has a twin brother who survived. And one of the kickers is they just said that she was a caretaker. It's crazy because as a mother, you know, or any parent, period, you're supposed to be a caretaker for your children. And she definitely failed at that if her 13-year-old daughter starved to death. Let me play it so we can hear some more.
News Amber Lake joins us live now with what else was revealed in the courtroom.
Julie, Chad, in a quiet High Point neighborhood off of Ferris Avenue, neighbors say that they never would have expected anything like this to happen, especially from a woman that they say was super kind. But court documents paint a very different picture. Police say that 44-year-old Kimberly Bowden faces felony child abuse and concealment of death charges after officers found her 13-year-old daughter dead inside their home. Detectives say Bowden's surviving twin son lived in unsafe, trash-filled conditions with no access to proper food or sanitation. Investigators also say the home itself was dangerous. Inside, officers found a gas stove that wasn't properly lit, creating what they believe was some level of gas intoxication inside. When officers went in October 13th for a welfare check, they found Bowden unresponsive. Bowden is also a certified nursing assistant.
Man, so some people really don't deserve to be parents. So the mother's a 44-year-old nursing assistant, but has her twins living in unsafe conditions. The daughter passed away, and instead of reporting it and seeking help, I mean, even before the daughter starved to death, like, they said she was nice, she was kind, you know, so I'm sure she could have reached out to somebody for some help. You know, if she couldn't afford food, it's all kind of, like, here in North Carolina, we definitely have a lot of food pantries and food donation places. Yeah, this one's real tough because I could never see myself not being able to feed my child, like, and it's, you know, it's luckily that the little boy survived, but man, it's just tragic for the little girl because it's no telling how long she went without eating, and it's just real sad. I'm gonna continue the video before I comment anymore.
She was not only the mother of these two kids, but she was also a certified nursing assistant. So she was supposed to provide care not only as the mother, but as the CNA. So she was being provided monies for that particular role. So she had dual roles.
Neighbors say this area is typically calm, the kind of place where people watch out for each other. Many say they were shocked not only by Bowden's arrest, but by what investigators say they uncovered inside the home.
I'm very concerned. This is a really nice neighborhood, and we care about our neighbors and want to keep it that way.
Police say no one else has been charged in this situation, but the DA said today that more charges could be pending for Bowden in the next few weeks. The autopsy for the 13-year-old is still not been released yet. Reporting live in High Point, Amber Lake, WFMY News.
So it was some type of gas or some type of toxic chemical in the home, and they said that the home was, you know, I'm sure it was, you know, cluttered. You know, they were saying that it was just not a safe environment for children to be living in. And, you know, my thing is, if you're struggling, you have to reach out for help. You definitely have to seek help. It should never come to a point to where you allowing your child to starve to death. Like, it should never come to that point. I'm gonna go to the next video. I got another video here on this, and then I'll provide further commentary.
Jewel.
Well, tonight we're learning more about what happened in the days leading up to the death of a 13-year-old girl in High Point. Good evening. This is the Fox 8 6 o'clock news. I'm Neil McNeil.
And I'm Katie Nordine. High Point police call logs show multiple calls for service were made to that same address where investigators found the girl dead. Her mother, Kimberly Bowden, is facing serious charges of felony child abuse and concealing of death. Celeste Smith is live outside the High Point jail tonight, where Bowden remains on a $1 million bond. So, Celeste, what do those police calls reveal about what led up to her arrest?
Well, the call log from High Point Police really paints a timeline of concern that was building up in the days right before police found Bowden's daughter dead inside of that home on East Ferris Avenue. And according to police, there were about 6 calls for service about Bowden's address.
6 calls, y'all. 6 calls. And nothing was done. That's unacceptable. 2 is too many, but 6, you know, so if someone's calling about a situation 6 times, I feel like it needs to be taken real serious. And then another thing that comes to mind is, man, your baby girl dies, and you just don't think to call the ambulance, or you don't think to call anyone. Like, after a while, of course, everyone should know, a dead body starts to decompose and it starts to smell real bad. And if there's already some type of toxic thing going on, like some type of gas or you know, whatever's going on in the home, and you add the smell of a decomposing body, that's just too much. So, like, in my opinion, this is just like, I mean, I don't think she should even see the light of day, ever see the light of day again. I really don't, because it's just no excuse. Like, you have to, like I keep saying, if you're having issues feeding yourself, feeding your child, you have to look for resources. You have to reach out for resources. There's always going to be a resource that you can reach out for, or reach out to for some assistance. You know, even if you come to the point where you like, well, I'm just not able to care for my children, then there's resources for that as well. But this right here is just really inexcusable. And I'm very interested to see, you know, what more is discovered in this whole story. But, you know, I just hate to hear that a little girl had to lose her life because, you know, her mother wasn't able to properly, you know, take care of her. And again, it's good for the little boy, but it's no telling how emotionally damaged the little boy is, the type of trauma that the little boy has went through. You know, we don't know if he's malnourished. Right now, we really have no clue. I'm gonna let the story continue here, but yeah, this is just terrible.
This year, all in October, and they described a handful of people raising concerns. The first 2 calls about the home on East Ferris Avenue came on October 4th. According to High Point Police's call log, a caller asked officers to check on the children in the home. The caller said she went to the home, but no one answered. Police told that caller that if she was worried about the kids' safety, she could contact DSS. The police call log also notes earlier that day, another caller.
All right, so let's check out. Let's see what's going on here. So 6 calls through October 31st. So the first call, they're saying at the beginning of October. So it's just the weather's just starting to break into, like, kind of really getting a little more chilly. So assistance and welfare check. The caller said she was fine and didn't want police to respond. Later, another caller asked for a welfare check, wanting police to check on the kids in the home. Let's see. Then a welfare check was done on the 13th, and that's when the body was found. Nurse social worker raised concerns for the 13-year-old. Let's see. Later that day, officers found the child dead, twin brother alive. So there was 2 follow-ups following that, but man, it was just too little, too late. Like, anytime these type of things occur, you have to be on it, because as we see, it's life or death. So it's a lot of people who dropped the ball in this situation. Honestly, it's a lot of people who dropped the ball.
Who was inside the East Ferris Avenue home wanted High Point police to be aware that everything was fine. The note on the call log says that caller said her aunt came over, but she didn't want her inside, and she overheard her aunt on a Ring camera threatening to call in a welfare check. The High Point call log shows 9 days later, a caseworker reported that the mother of a medically fragile 13-year-old kept canceling visits. The call log notes that police spoke with construction workers at the property who told officers Bowden rarely left the home with the child. Police knocked several times and heard no movement inside, advising the caseworker to reach out to DSS. The police call log shows later that same day, on October 13th, another caller said they were asked by a family friend to check on the children. EMS was dispatched and a body was found. That body was Bowden's 13-year-old daughter. The girl's twin brother was found alive, but sustained serious psychological and mental harm.
As I was just saying, like, psychologically, this kid might be ruined for the rest of his life. Man, so the house was filled with trash, rotten food. Come on, y'all. A gas stove leak. So you're breathing in fumes. You're not eating. The nurse said that the child was malnourished. And then it's just like, it's no telling that those kids was like locked in a room somewhere or in a basement somewhere. Man, like, this is horrible. Bond set at $1 million. That bond, it shouldn't be no bond. It really shouldn't be a bond for this. Autopsy still pending, so the autopsies, of course, is gonna tell the story of what happened and stuff like that. And I think they may be able to tell the last time they were able to eat or something of that nature. But this just tugs at my heart, honestly, because there's resources out here. I mean, it may not be the best of the best or this and that, but. And then if it's an aunt that's coming over, or any type of family member coming over, and it's just like, I'm sure if you would have said something, they would have assisted. Like, I mean, groceries can be expensive, but when it comes to children, you're gonna do what you have to do. You're gonna definitely go buy those groceries as a family member to assist and make sure that the children are good. I'm gonna let the video finish here and then close out the video here.
Reports show the home was filled with trash and rotting food. From there, the timeline moved quickly. On October 30th, Bowden was arrested and charged with 2 counts of felony child abuse and concealing a child's death. On October 31st, she appeared before a judge for the first time. Her bond was set at $1 million, and prosecutors said they're still waiting on autopsy results. I reached out to NCDHHS to ask if there had been DSS complaints involving Bowden. The agency said NCDHHS supports county departments of social services by conducting case reviews of child fatalities for deaths related to maltreatment from a parent or caretaker. I followed up with NCDHHS again following the details that were revealed in High Point police call logs, asking once again about complaints that might have been filed about Bowden, and then also if they were aware of any of the canceled caseworker visits or Bowden's role as a paid CNA for her child. And NCDHHS replied that they do not have any additional information to share at this time. But today I did get a chance to speak with a family member of Bowden who told me that her son is in family's care and that he is doing better. Live in High Point, Celeste Smith, Fox 8 News.
A High Point mother accused.
So, man, it's just a blessing that the little boy was able to get into, some family care, and hopefully that family is able to help this little boy and, just get him on the right track. Of course he'll never be the same because his sister, they're 13, so at 13, man, I was well aware of, food and going in there and making a sandwich for myself, and, I knew how to open my mouth and say, if I'm hungry or not, so, I would have to assume that they know how to do the same thing, and, man, like I say, saying some people they're just not fit to be parents. So it's a tragic story. But I'm out of all this, I'm hoping that the little boy is able to find some type of normalcy in the home that he's in, that he's able to eat as much as he can, and God willing, they'll be able to kind of get through this very, very tough situation. And for the mother, as a registered caretaker, it's nah. She shouldn't, in my opinion, she shouldn't see the light of day. And that's just from my perspective. But I'm gonna leave all the links to the credits to the local news here with the story that I just reacted to. Again, if you know anybody, or if you're in a situation of not being able to feed yourself, not being able to feed your children, you have to get out there and look for resources. There's plenty of resources here in North Carolina, different organizations and nonprofits, and food harvests, food banks, shelters. These places will be able to point you in the right direction to where you could get some type of donated food, and of course I know everything that's going on with this SNAP benefits, food stamps. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be real tough out here. I'm hoping that they're able to resolve their disagreements in Congress and all that to be able to get people their benefits, so that people are not having no Thanksgivings or no food, period. But once again, my name is Justin Paul. I'm just starting my YouTube journey, reacting to different things, different subjects, and again, like I said in my first video, things are gonna be a little rough for me just starting out, but I got a game plan and I'm gonna stick to it, and I'm gonna just continue to grow, and hopefully I can just provide some perspective and some insight on what's going on here and and around the world, and I just want to give my unfiltered opinion on things, and this is just terrible. This is the type of thing that just it's just uncalled for. But let me know what y'all think in the comments, and if you like my content so far, like and subscribe. It's only going to get better. Again, this is Justin Paul. Peace.